In reading, we have been learning about our climate. Then we learned about weather patterns, and sometimes in weather, we have weather hazards. Remember, weather hazards are things like floods, fire, tornadoes, hurricanes. They are weather that create damage and can be not safe. They can be unsafe for people to be in it. Here is a fact that I want you thinking about today. Humans cannot stop natural disasters from occurring. We cannot stop weather hazards. When it's going to flood, nobody asks Mrs. Rinalay, is now a good time for a flood? Right? We can't control it. It's outside of our control. The earth is in charge of weather. Humans are not. So that's a fact. We have to deal with the damage that comes from weather hazards. That can be a problem for humans sometimes. Here's another fact. Humans can create solutions to lessen the damage caused by weather hazards. Remember, we watched a video about floods, lightning strikes, and high winds. Humans can create and build things that help protect us or help reduce the damage that is caused. Today, we're going to talk a little bit more about how engineers, how humans can create solutions that help protect us and help prevent damage. On slide number 2, we have a video that we're going to watch. I'm going to push play on the video. You are looking and listening to the video. We're going to start by talking about wildfires. That's the first type of weather hazard that we're going to explore today.
Make a different future. Start different at GoDaddy.com.
On average, wildfires burn up to 5 million acres of land in the United States each year. While they can start naturally, wildfires are often caused by humans, with devastating consequences. Wildfires are large, uncontrolled infernos that burn and quickly spread through wild landscapes. Types of wildfires may include forest, brush, and peatland fires, depending on the landscapes affected. Wildfires require 3 components known as the fire triangle: a heat source, fuel, and oxygen. Heat sources such as the sun, a hot bolt of lightning, or a smoldering match can supply enough heat to spark a fire. That spark then turns into flames when fuel or any flammable material is present. Dry, dead grasses, leaves, and trees are common fuels for wildfires, but so are living vegetation called green fuels. Pine trees and other evergreens contain flammable oils that can burn when exposed to a heat source. As the fuel burns, the resulting flames feed and thrive off of oxygen. When air movement or wind occurs, not only is more oxygen supplied to the fire, but it may also help transport and spread the flames. Since wildfires occur outdoors, they have a nearly endless supply of oxygen from our atmosphere to burn. Many wildfires are the result of natural causes. A warmer climate and weather patterns like El Niño can create the hot, dry conditions necessary for fires to erupt. However, about 90% of wildfires are caused by human activity, such as campfires that become uncontrollable, improperly handled cigarettes, or arson. Although wildfires occur worldwide, they are most common in the western United States. There, high temperatures, drought, and frequent lightning and thunderstorms can create the perfect setting for wildfires. While they can be destructive and sometimes even deadly for humans, wildfires do play an important role in nature. They can help a forest by removing harmful insects or diseased plants. And they can clear thick canopies to help sunshine reach seedlings on a forest floor. By being aware of the conditions necessary for wildfires to occur, they can be managed and prevented, thereby saving lives and making way for the positive effects of wildfires.
In this video, we saw some real examples of wildfires, which is a type of weather hazard. Going back to our facts, we cannot stop fires from happening, but we can create solutions that reduce the damage caused by fires. Let's find our seesaw task together so that we can work together on finding solutions for wildfires. Please click on Activities, Assign to Class folder, Red ELA. Our task today is called Solutions for Wildfires and Tornadoes. We're going to focus first on wildfires. When you find our task, please click Add Response and open it. Please start on slide number 3. On slide number 3, we have some directions of what we're going to do today. First, we're going to read slides 4 through 9. Look at slides 4 through 9. They have this yellow and orange text. It looks kind of the same. That's our text about wildfires today. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to read the text and we are going to look for evidence in the text about the impact wildfires have on human life. I want you to do purple highlighting just like me. And we're going to start with our purple. We're going to use purple to identify evidence that wildfires have on human life. What is the impact that wildfires have on us, humans? That's going to be our first job. We're going to do that together. As we read each slide, you're going to keep your purple highlight tool ready. And when we hear something about the impact, how wildfires affect us, we're going to highlight it with purple. Get your purple highlight ready. Here we go. Let's click on slide number 4. Wildfires are uncontrolled fires that destroy a lot of land. They happen all over the world. Many occur in the western United States. Hot weather and droughts cause more wildfires to spark. I'm noticing this text feature here of a map, and it's showing the risk of different regions in our country. I noticed that all the way to the West Coast, there's a higher risk. We've talked about California before, how there are fires sometimes in California. And I noticed a text feature of a real photograph. I have not heard any evidence about how it impacts humans, so I still have my purple highlight ready, and we're going to click on slide number 5. Here's slide number 5. Wildfires come from chemical reactions between heat, fuel, and oxygen. This is called the fire triangle. Heat is needed to start wildfires. It dries out the land and warms the air. Here's an example of the fire triangle. You need a fuel like wood, you need oxygen, and you need heat. When you put those together, it can make a fire. Okay, I'm also noticing another photograph, another text evidence feature. Let's keep going to number 6. Fuel is any flammable material. Plants can be fuel. Homes can be too. Fuel helps fire spread. Okay, homes is all about us. I know that if homes are burning, like this picture, that impacts humans. That impacts our life. So I'm highlighting the sentence that says homes can be too. Homes can be something that burn. And we have a photograph here of some evidence. Make sure you have highlighted how this impacts humans, just like I have. Let's keep reading. Air supplies oxygen to fires. Fuel and oxygen work together to create more heat to keep fires burning. Click to slide number 7. Wildfires hurt people. Many people lose homes. Okay, again, we're looking for evidence about how wildfires impact human life. Wildfires hurt people. I found some evidence there. It also says many people lose homes. There's more purple evidence. Check right now that you're highlighting your purple evidence, just like Mrs. Renele. Winds carry smoke hundreds of miles away. Smoky air is hard to breathe. It can make people sick. Still thinking about how wildfires impact human life. It says smoky air is hard to breathe. It can make people sick. Oh boy. No, thank you. I don't want to breathe that smoky air. I know you don't either. Make sure you're checking your purple evidence. How do wildfires impact human life? How does it impact us? On the right side, we have something called a profile. It's giving an example of a real wildfire that happened. It's talking about a wildfire that happened in November of 2018 in California. And it says over 13,000 homes were destroyed. So I highlighted some evidence from this profile. So many homes were burned and destroyed. It also says over 4,000 businesses and other buildings were destroyed. We work in businesses. So when those businesses are destroyed, people don't have jobs. So wildfires can burn our homes. They can also burn our places of work. And then you can't go to work. Then you won't have money to provide for your family's needs. That is a huge damage. That's a huge impact to human life. Next, it says damage to people. More than 80 people lost their lives. So in this example of this fire, 80 people died in this fire. That impacts human life. Oh my goodness. It also says there were health concerns due to poor air quality. We talked about the smoky air, right? When you breathe smoke for a long time, it could affect your lungs, how you breathe. Okay, awesome. Let's keep going to slide number 8. Good job looking for evidence. How do fires impact human life? Wildfires can destroy forests and force animals to move. Fires burn soil and destroy its nutrients. Wildfires put harmful gases in the air. They pollute rivers and water supplies with ash. Check out these text features of photographs and captions. So much damage after a wildfire. Oh my. Slide number 9. Keep going. Wildfires can lead to flooding. Interesting. I did not know that. During heavy rains, the burned ground cannot soak up the rain. Okay, Very interesting. Even small rainstorms over a burned area can result in flash floods. So after a fire, when the ground is all burned, if it rains, the soil doesn't soak up the water. So the water just sits on top and it can quickly create a flood. That's called a flash flood. So first you have a fire, then if it does rain, you might have a flood. So much damage. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have looked through our wildfire text for purple evidence. We have looked for how does it impact human life. We did that together. I'm going to change my color now. Let's do red. Change your highlight tool to red. And let's do number 2. Number 2 says highlight the impact wildfires have on the environment. So not just human life, but now we're thinking about the ground, the air, plants, animals. That's what we mean by the environment. When you read the text again, I want you to look for evidence. How do wildfires impact the ground, the air, plants, trees, animals? That's what we're going to look for. You are going to read slides 4 through 9, just like I did. This time with your red highlight tool, you're going to hunt for evidence about how wildfires impact the environment. I'm going to put you into your breakout room to do this now, reading the pages, highlighting with red any impact or damage that is caused by wildfires. Here we go. On every page, I'm going to read it aloud, and then I'm going to call on some friends. You will then share out what evidence you heard or highlighted about how wildfires impact the ground, the air, the water, the plants, the animals. That's our environment. So get your red highlight tool ready. Let's start on number 4. After I read slide 4, I'm looking for hands that are ready to share out red evidence that I need to highlight. Here we go. Wildfires are uncontrolled fires that destroy a lot of land. They happen all over the world. Many occur in the western United States. Hot weather and droughts cause more wildfires to spark. Okay, who has found some evidence about how wildfires impact our environment? Thinking about slide number 4. Haley, go ahead, Haley.
So what I found was fires destroy lots of land. They happen all over the world.
Fires destroy a lot of land, specifically that part about land. That's good evidence, Haley, for how wildfires impact the environment. They destroy the land. Perfect evidence. Great job. Let's move on to slide number 5. Make sure you are highlighting your evidence just like I am. If I highlight something, you should highlight it on your seesaw task. Let's go to slide number 5. You are listening and looking for evidence. How do wildfires impact the environment? Here we go. Wildfires come from chemical reactions between heat, fuel, and oxygen. This is called a fire triangle. Heat is needed to start wildfires. It dries out the land and warms the air. What evidence do we see in this text about fires impacting environment? Gloria.
It says that it warms up the air and it might come wildfires.
It says it dries out the land and warms the air. Fire impacts the air by making it warmer. Fire impacts the land by drying it out. There's less water in the soil. It dries it out. Good evidence from Gloria. If I highlight evidence, you highlight evidence. Get your red highlight tool out and highlight that evidence. Good work. Slide number 6. Here we come. Thinking and listening for evidence. How do wildfires impact the environment? Here we go. Fuel is any flammable material. Plants can be fuel. Homes can be too. Fuel helps fires spread. Air supplies oxygen to fires. Fuel and oxygen work together to create more heat to keep fires burning. Honesty, I see your hand. What did you find for evidence?
What's called plants can be
Fuel. Good. Honesty found some evidence. Plants can be fuel. Fuel is what they need to burn. So plants are quickly burned up by fire. So plants are a part of our environment. That's good evidence. Looking for other friends. How else does wildfire impact our ground, our air, our plants and vegetation? Haley, go ahead, Haley.
I found that fuel helps fire spread.
Yes, so the plants help it spread. Good, awesome. Great work. Let's move on to slide number 7. Number 7, thinking about damage to our environment. Wildfires hurt people. Many people lose homes. Winds carry smoke hundreds of miles away. Smoky air is hard to breathe. It can make people sick. And then we learned about an example of a fire. Do we have any evidence on slide number 7 about how wildfires impact our environment? Honesty?
wind can't carry smoke hundreds of miles away.
Wind carries the smoke. So wind, the air is part of our environment. And if there's a fire over here, the wind can carry it hundreds of miles away. So you may not even be living near a fire, but you might get smoke that blows to your home. That affects our environment for sure. Absolutely. Let's go to slide number 8. Remember, whatever I'm highlighting, you are highlighting on your slides on Seesaw. Winds can carry smoke hundreds of miles away. Let's move on to slide number 8. Here's number 8. Wildfires can destroy forests and force animals to move. Fires burn soil and destroy its nutrients. Wildfires put harmful gases in the air. They pollute rivers and water supply with ash. Oh my goodness, this page is full of evidence about how wildfires impact our environment. Who can share out one? Let's leave some for others. Who's ready? Who's got one piece of evidence? Theo, go ahead, Theo.
Wildfires can force animals to move.
Oh my goodness. They force animals to move. That is good evidence from Theo. Animals are part of our environment. Look at these text features. These birds are getting out of there. I do not blame them. Looking for other friends who found some evidence. Maberly. Wildfires can destroy forests. Thank you, Maberly, for that evidence. If we don't have forests, that impacts other things. We need forests in order for our world to continue. Ashley.
They pollinate rivers and water supplies with ash.
Yes, they pollute rivers and water supplies with ash. So when the smoke gets in the air, then eventually it lands. And the water now has gross, dirty stuff in it. Ew, now we can't even drink our water. Come on, wildfires, this is too much. Who else has some evidence? Gloria.
Fires burn soil and
Destroy.
destroy its nutrients.
Fire burn the soil and destroy its nutrients. We've talked about how plants need nutrients in the soil. So if all the soil is burned, all the nutrients are gone, plants won't be able to grow there anymore. That's dangerous. Day, what did you find? Oh my gosh, you guys, there's so much evidence on this page. Wildfires put harmful gases. Gases are things we breathe. They put harmful, bad ones in the air. That's why humans and animals cannot be around the fire. We have to leave because it will kill us if we breathe the smoky air. Wow, this whole page was all about the environment. I'm so glad you took your time to find evidence. Let's go to slide number 9. We are almost done with text evidence for how they impact the environment. Let's read this last one. Wildfires can lead to flooding. During heavy rains, the burned ground cannot soak up the rain. Even small rainstorms over a burned area can result in flash floods. Whew. This is so much evidence. Haley, go ahead.
During heavy rainstorms, the ground cannot soak up the rain. Wildfires
Excellent.
and flooding.
Yes, the ground cannot soak up the rain. Once it's all charred like this, check out this evidence here. Cannot soak up the rain, it's all burned. Ashley. It's all burned. Ashley.
Even small rainstorms over a burned area can result in flash.
Yep, they can lead to flash floods. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone who shared out evidence. If I did not get to you, I apologize. I want to make sure you have time to hear about your task. Your task today is very similar. We're just going to be learning about tornadoes instead of wildfires. Join me, please, on slide number 11. Slide number 11 gives you your directions, but here's what I really want you to focus on today, because there's a lot on here. I want you to do the green number 1. You're going to watch the video on slide 12 about tornadoes. Then you have 2 jobs. Just like we did, you are going to highlight the impact that tornadoes have on human life. You're going to do that in purple, just like we did for wildfires. Then you're going to read and you're going to look for the evidence of how tornadoes have an impact on the environment. And you're going to highlight that in red. This is a little bit hard to see. Let me make it more red here. Red for the environment, purple for human life. Okay, so on slide 12, you have a video about tornadoes. Then you've got some text to read. Day. You're going to highlight evidence about how it damages human life. and then how it damages the environment. When you get to slide number 20, you do not need to do this. Slide number 20, you do not need to do. Your work starts on number 11. You need to do these 3 steps. Watch the video number 12, and then do your highlights like we did together.